So, the other day in theaters, I saw F9, The Fast Saga, also known as Fast and Furious 9, or Fast 9, or Furious 9, or just F9, whatever you call it. It was the first Fast and Furious movie I ever saw in theaters after spending several weeks binging all the Fast and Furious movies. It's the first time I've ever seen them, and I'll be doing a full ranking of them tomorrow or the next day. But until then, I'm very excited to talk about this, as I'll jump right into this full spoiler review of F9. So, there's definitely a bunch of negatives with this movie. First off, I think a pretty major one was just the fact that, there was a big jump in the action, a big break in the action between the first section with the car going over the cliff and the first introduction to the magnets. There was barely any action. There's a couple of fight scenes, but nothing too great, nothing too stellar, nothing involving vehicles, and it was maybe almost an hour-long period, so there was definitely a big break in action there just for exposition, a lot of explaining Jacob and how Dom's had this long-lost brother the whole time. And while this stuff was interesting, it's not, it was too big of a break from the action. A second thing that I had a problem with, it was a little annoying that, for, I think the third movie in the row, they had, a big world-ending MacGuffin object where, oh, you gotta get that object away from the bad guys or else the world is gonna be over, and, I don't know, I feel like that's a spy trope and a Fast and Furious trope now that they've been using too much, and they could have done something a little more fresh, a little more new, and I just wasn't a big fan of that. I didn't like that. I don't like that we got a lot of closure with Kurt Russell's character. They never explained what happened to him after the plane crash, and I'm sure he'll just be casually introduced in the next movie, oh, he's totally fine. But still, it still left some things feeling a bit unresolved in this movie. And just finally, I thought the Cardi B cameo just felt weird and out of place, and it felt like she paid a lot of money just to be in the movie. Oh, I want to be in the movie. I'm gonna ask these guys, and they'll give me a scene. That's what it felt like. Even if that wasn't, it still felt out of place and kind of weird. So those are my issues with the movie. But on to the positives. First off, I'm just gonna say this first. It was my favorite scene in the movie. I don't know if I'll have another opportunity to talk about it. I really love the final scene before the credits, where, it had Paul Walker's character, Brian O'Connor, kind of implied that he was driving up to see the rest of the family. And I thought that was really sweet. I liked that scene a lot. And it was a good way to pay tribute to him without, having to, completely CGI at a new Paul Walker Rogue One style. So, I liked that scene. I thought it was very sweet and heartfelt. Now on to some of the bigger positives. First off, this movie went bonkers and crazy, and it quite literally went more over the top and higher in action than the other movies. Because with the magnets and going to space and just swinging over the canyon, they just came up with all these new crazy ideas, really cool, fun action scenes. They were just so turn your brain off and enjoy that I really, really enjoyed them, especially the whole go to space plotline. I thought that was so fun. I liked all the characters they brought back in this movie. Of course, it was nice seeing, the main gang with, Roman, Tej, Dom, Letty. But they also brought in Mia, and they brought back Han, and then they added in a lot of the Tokyo Drift crew, which I thought was really neat. So this movie had a very good cast that was pretty good. I like John Cena in this movie. Having a secret brother who is actually an enemy is just a, sort of dumb soap opera-y thing that Fast and Furious would do, and I was all here for it. I liked their dynamic, and I liked how at the end he kind of got redeemed in the same way that Dom was redeemed in the first movie. None of the performances were too stand out, but, they all did pretty well with the comedic evidence, especially, of course, Roman and Tej and their whole banter about what if we're immortal, what if we're invincible. I thought that was really funny. It's a really good-looking movie. The visuals are all pretty solid, especially the shots of the car in space. I thought, it's so dumb, but, oh, that's so cool and fun to look at. The humor was really good. And overall, it leans a lot into the spy stuff that they've been doing the last couple of movies, but I thought that was okay. Overall, it was just a fun, dumb, turn-your-brain-off action movie. And it felt like a Fast and Furious movie. It didn't feel like, ooh, this feels too different from the previous films. No, it felt just in line with how they've been building up. And I absolutely really enjoyed it. It was dumb, it was fun, it was funny, and it just took things so over the top that I absolutely enjoyed myself. And even though there were some issues with the plot and the MacGuffin and some scenes that were kind of awkward, I still thought it was a really fun movie to just turn your brain off and enjoy. So I would give F9 an 8 out of 10. I hope you guys enjoy the upcoming ranking that's coming, and I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.